Hey guys, this is the professor for Day Trading for Success. So I just finished a lot of freestyle trading to dig me out of a hole. You want to see me trade live every morning? You can come to Day Trading for Success. Just if you subscribe and click on your alerts, you can come over. It's totally free to watch, to trade along. I recommend that you speak to a licensed financial advisor before you try to follow. If you can find anybody that says you can day trade, practice in a simulator. Only trade with funds you can afford to lose. But that being said, it's a great way to learn. I basically this month have been teaching scalping techniques. So once you learn how to scalp, you can pretty much trade any strategy. And we really focus on a lot of strategies on this channel from like a whole bunch of different books that I recommend in the more information, and then a whole bunch of prop firm custom indicators and things that we trade with. So this probably looks complicated if you're new here, but if you're not, and you're making money probably with me. But yeah, so we have a pretty good group, and you should definitely stop by and see how we're doing. So our goal this month was to make between 150 a day to 500 a day, and I just uploaded right here. I was 300 and I think $29 down when I left the stream, and I had pronounced that I didn't want to come back. It's during this whole Jackson Hole announcement. I lost my voice here from quarterbacking so much, and the markets were just impossible to trade. And I said going in, like, you shouldn't trade today. Nobody should trade today. Starting with the opening candle, which nobody should trade. And I said that too. I had my first bad trade. And then it just, I got green a bit. And then, it just went, I couldn't read them right. Then as soon as I got out, they went the direction I wanted them to go. You know how that goes. But usually I can overcome that stuff and be green, as you can see from the month. But today I had a terrible problem. So I was down 100 and something on Tesla, and then a combination of other stocks I was down on too. If you look at, let's see, I think might have been Apple. Yep, 85 bucks down on Apple. And then on Nvidia, I was $143 down. And then the rest of the down, I think Hood might have been green. Nope, I didn't do Hood. And then the rest was on Tesla, and I was down 100 and something. So I got that 100 back and then added that. And then that's where now we are right there today. If you count the exchange fees, I'm probably close to even. I had actually got off about $8 up, and then I made a couple more trades. And so I'll show some of that footage where I recovered there right near the end. You can see that right after the intro, and then it's going to go right into the stream with the opening bell this morning in its entirety. So if you just want to go straight to that, just go past the intro, and you can go right to the stream. But what we trade here is really a large cap retracement strategy. And we base that on finding support and resistance levels. So we'll mark out the Fibonacci levels on a 5-minute 10-day chart and a 5-minute 2-day chart. We'll use those as support and resistance levels. And then we'll mark historical data where the price action has stopped and abruptly turned around to see if that's a level we might need to respect. Again, so if you take at these fibs, just to give you an idea, let's mark it. It's always left to right, but it can be high to low or low to high, but it's always left to right that you mark these. Come on, there we go. And let's snap it down here at the 60. Trying to have the gentle touch here. There we go. So let's first look at these channels. So created these channels from the day before. And here was the first channel that we would have watched to trade. That's based on a strategy called the RV strategy that came out in 2022 in the book Day Trading Volume 1. I have a link to it. But let's see what the 2-day fib does for us. So you're basically looking for channels to trade in. Now, every morning I set this up for each stock that we're going to trade, and I'll show you, I use custom scanner readings to find those stocks that have specific criteria. is. Okay, 55 down to this. There we go. Now let's get this a different color so we can really see. So this is the 2-day 5-minute. Now let's look at the channels. So boy, did that ever help us, right? Tighten these up. So, it's not exactly, but it did respect this level quite a bit for getting in and out, And then same up here, tapped it, abruptly turned around. So with these, and then you're marking historical data, you really get a leg up, and that's what the strategy is based on. Let's just continue while I'm here just on this stock that I traded today. Now you need to go back a ways to get any historical data for this. And it looks like we have a couple levels here. So let's see. So I will smooth it as it goes across and see, where else it might have tapped. And really, that's a pretty good level where it hit here a whole bunch of times. Here's another abrupt on an open session, turned around. I don't know where these are going to be as we cross over, if they're even close to where we are. You need to get near the price action that you're at. But let's just see where we are now. So here's where we traded, and wow, did that ever come into play? This level did. So now you zoom in. Well, actually, let's zoom in on a 1-minute chart. So you can see how these levels might have helped you if you were trading this strategy, right? Now this is a big mess, and I'll tell you why in a minute, why this big mess matters. But all the gray lines are whole and half dollar marks, so you want to trade with the crowd. This is the 50-day moving average on a 1-minute chart, right? So here's where I was trading just recently. You can see how that resistance level should have been watched and listened to, because it really stopped it and consolidated it down there. And then if you look at the fib level, let's see where that came into play. Right here, it just stayed around it, right? So now if we zoom out a little bit on that, let me just make this a little bit bigger here, and we look at the whole 1 minute to where we are right now. I mean, they're not all obviously perfectly aligned. I don't know how this is going to end up. I just know I was using a lot of these levels a few minutes ago, and then I was creating real intraday levels. So there's a lot of arrows here watching, but let's try to zoom in on the levels. There's a fib level. This is a historical data level, which it seems to have been really, it came into play quite a few times. There's the 50 moving average. You always want to pay attention to that, or the 100 or the 200. You can see it just literally abruptly turned around and many times during that. And then in the middle here, you're seeing the market magnet, which is these green and red arrows, set at 50% of the overall volume profile. And usually when you see these levels come in above the magnet, the stock goes up. Below the magnet, the stock goes down. Now this is, you can see, look at the fib turning around right there too, and then the whole and half dollar levels. But you can see this, if you want to look at the market magnet, it's kind of interesting to watch, because it really can help you call your trades. Now we'll zoom in a little bit where it won't be quite so crowded, and go like that, right? So the magnet, this is calling for a resistance right here. You can see it tapped it and turned around. Now if you saw those blue lines go across right here, or down below it, that usually pulls it down, not always, and above it will pull it up, and that gives you a leg up, trying to figure out when it's about to go. The volume's so low right now to compare to where it was, it's harder to read it. This is the Scalp Pro meter that's telling you inside every candlestick what is the strength of it, and that's really, really handy. You see it down here. Buyers and sellers, and then the volume. You can read this quite a few different ways. You can look at the overall pattern of the volume, which is what the basic volume indicator does. But this is just a souped up one that the pros use that really has a lot of coding in it, that shows you inside of a 1 minute candle. It can show you any time frame, but the 1 minute's really the one that's the fastest for scalping. Even has a meter on it and shows the percentages, and then it shows you if it's crossed over the 14 EMA VWAP. And then this will light blue if the current volume breaks the last volume in a bell goes off, letting you know that the direction that it's going, it's going to go a lot. It's probably going to keep going that way because a lot of people are jumping on, right? And then this is the multi-chart alignment. This shows you what everybody's looking at. So you see how that is red right there? So this is basically showing you that the 5 minutes red, the 15-minute, all the rest are green here. And you can see these, and it shows you in 5-minute increments, but you can see it over here. All right? These are the 5, 15, 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour. Again, when you're a 15-minute trader and it's green, you're more likely to go long than short. So you knowing that on your little 1-minute chart is very handy when a bunch of people are about to pile in, sending the direction of the stock. Doesn't matter if the crowd is right. You know, you just trading with the crowd is key. Knowing what the crowd is going to do is key. Tom Hogarth says in Best Loser Wins, like, if you follow the crowd, 90% of the time you will be wrong, right? But I think he means more for swing trades, not for short-term trades following the crowd. Then the market pulse here is very, very handy. You know, you've got the QQQ, the SPY, telling you the direction they're going. This is on a 5-minute chart. This is set up on a 15-minute chart. UVXY, the fear factor, the bonds. All this information being brought up is so handy to have on your, you know, it could overwhelm you if you're not used to reading it, but you don't need to put all these on here, right? This down here, the trend indicator with clouds, incredibly helpful. You know, so there's links to all this stuff. You can get them on a lot of places, sell them now, but the $1 Million Margin Club, I think, is the cheapest one, like $24 for an indicator that one trade can make all the difference. So you should check them out. I have a link to them. But this is and also it has this layout if you want to do that. I have a lot of free layouts on this channel. But anyway, guys, that's the essence of the strategy that I'm showing, a scalping strategy that I trade every morning live for free. So you should come over and see me. One last indicator I forgot to tell you. This is the risk oscillator. This thing, when it came out, it changed everything. You use these two together. They really call this the engine that drives the data up here. This is telling you the average of the last 9 candles, right? How much they moved. And then what is the target if you're going long? What is the target if you're going short? So you figure out how many pennies. Your pennies light up here once you get in a position, right? And then this just tells you when to get out. So this is why they call it the risk oscillator. Like, you just don't overstay your welcome. Just do a short-term trade, 100 shares, 200 shares, 500 shares, whatever it might be. Just get in and get out in just a few pennies, and you make money, and you do 20, 30, 40, 50 scalps over a half-hour to 2-hour period, and you start to get, you know, some big bucks lined up that can help you make a living. So right now on this, what I was showing you is that we are up to 5,500 this month. And, you know, some days that was the best day. We did the 500, the max, a few days, and most of them were under, but everything was over the 150. This one did not meet our target, but just getting green today was a serious struggle. And I wouldn't trade tomorrow, or maybe this is coming out on the day I wouldn't trade, but I wouldn't trade Friday. Anyway, guys, check out the live stream. First, you're going to get me finishing off to get to just below this number. A little bit of scalping, and you're going to get the intro. So stick around. It should be exciting. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to Day Trading for Success, where the professor, a former math teacher turned full-time trader and coder, guides beginners on how to trade for a living using proven strategies, breakthrough indicators, and lessons from essential trading books. The professor isn't a licensed financial advisor. Always consult a pro before diving into any strategies or demos you see here. Start smart, practice in a simulator, stick to a solid day trading plan, and don't forget to log every trade. Your profits will start with preparation. Thank you for allowing us to share in your journey. Please remember to subscribe, comment, give a thumbs up, and click that notification bell so you can be the first to receive more of our great content.
Hey guys, I said I wasn't going to trade more, but Charlie gave me the energy and her sad, pathetic eyes to try to get things, because she's been having a really good run with a green day most every day. So we wanted to keep that going. So we needed to make 229. So I'm not quite there yet. Been trading for about 45 minutes. It's been a struggle. We had one bad trade that we were almost there, and then it went almost back to the beginning again. So we're near the tail end, so I thought I'd start recording again. So I've been setting, freelance style. Wow, we missed that one as I got on here. Oh, we were waiting for it to break that 21. It finally did. So this would be where I would short it in this area up here. Let's see if it bursts a little higher. Then we could play off the 21. But really, we need $17 to be green. I need 17 with my share size. She needs like 8 or something because she was doing about half of what I've been doing. Now, she's been able to trade the same share size because she's made, we funded the account for her, but she just doesn't feel comfortable. And she didn't go down as far, which was good because I was down like part of it was here, like $100 and something down on Tesla, right? So then, so this is green, really more like $300 and something compared to when I signed off. So yeah, so it's been a recovery that's on a lower share size than I would normally trade to keep with the parameters of what we're trying to do here. But it was a terrible morning this morning. I really have no excuses. I just shouldn't have traded. I didn't feel like trading. It was really hard to call it. And of course, as soon as I get out, it's like you just stayed in it. The same old stuff we tell ourselves year after year. But I know better, and I just did it anyway. But no excuses. Everybody makes mistakes, and that was a mistake. So I've been fighting back, and right now what happens so often is when you get so close, it goes against you. And that's what I'm worried about right now. So, but I'm actually going to try to short that there. So let's see if we can get a dip down here. That would be a large chunk of what we need right there. We need 229 to break even there. So actually this is enough then. 229 if we can get there on a retracement back down. 229 up here will give us the amount of money we need. Was that what it was? Yeah. So we are $4 green right now. You get that in there. You got that even better than me. So she is green too. And you guys got to see the tail end of it. But basically I just marked support and resistance levels and then played off of them. And a couple times it threw us. I think this was one of them. Like we shouldn't have even drawn that there. And, I think I went long off of that and got hit recently here. This is the one I think that really killed us, where we were almost, and I just kept doubling down. Then I finally got out somewhere down here. I was just like, oh, no, don't do it. But yeah, this is when we were entering at 50 shares. Now I pulled it to max share size because I'm out of time. I'm losing my voice, and we should really just stop now for green. So that's probably what we're going to do. I'll try to get a video out today or tomorrow morning, just so we're green and you guys can see. It was a struggle. It was hard work, but we got green. It's not exactly what I call a banner day because it's not a profit. Probably the trading fees would equal more than what the exchange fees, not trading fees, would equal more than what I just did. So probably like $15 down or something. But generally it was just like, get the trader view looking good, make sure the account's not getting negative drawn to it. And, we would call it a win. If we don't have a red day, it's a win, right? So, okay, guys. So check out the next clip that's coming up. And we shouldn't expect Apple to do a huge move if it picks me up. So it didn't pick me up. That's what saves me by going above it's going to pick me up though. Look at the level 2. I saw the level 2, like it's going to pick me up. Do I really want it to? No, I don't. Jeez. Oh, God. Yeah, I was afraid it was just too close to it. So bad trade. Now I got to dig a hole if I keep letting this go. I kind of want to wait for the rest of this 1 minute to see if it rebounds. But, yeah, it's getting worse. $11 seconds for me to decide do I want to go in half position or get out for a bad trade right at the end? This is why I said don't do this. This was stupid. Is it going to turn around? I'm looking at see if it breaks the 25.50. It did. No, it's not solid enough for me to add to the position, so I'm just going to get out for an $85 loss. I don't trust it, so it might rebound, but yeah, so that was why you don't do the opening candle. Now, do I want to consider to continue to wait for this stock to consolidate? Probably not, because its action is so slow. Do you think I looked at this a few times to see if I was out? Too early. I mean, we have one shot here, right? And I called it wrong. And it's a 50-50. That ladder trick was just too close. I should have probably pulled it up to the whole dollar up here and said, well, if it breaks that, then we know it's going long, probably going more long. But it just snapped it and then went straight down. It was way too close to the position. Had this position been down here, then it could have been a good trade. I would have got in and, picked it up because it probably wouldn't have moved like that. Yeah, I'm just still watching it, but I'm thinking that we're going to go over here and we're going to look at this for more consolidating type of trades. And see what this looks like. Wow, NVIDIA went up, huh? Look at that. I thought Apple was the more conservative one to do what I did. Look at NVIDIA go. Well, we could chase it. Not advisable. Keep this at 100 shares as well. Look at it go. So that's interesting. Do we have more news? Yeah, it says NVIDIA is one that's going to be moving today. Have we missed our opportunity? All right, I'm looking to get into this on a pullback. That close to the 76. I'll try it there. 76.03.05. I got it at. We've got a little mountain to climb to get that Apple loss. Of course, it's just stalling now the second I get in it. I'll take some baby steps if I get a chance. That could be it. I think I got in at its high. Not doing good today. Stick to your max loss, guys. Just not a week we should be trading. I'm trying to force something. This is above the magnet, which is good, so that should give us a slight bump up. Just pulled it back down. 05 at the 50 cents. There's $50 exactly at the 50 cents because I'm right at the. Oh, it's still dropping. Now it's dropping. Man, I'm gonna have another day I got to dig out. And what a day to dig out! It's not a good day to try to dig out of this stuff. Yep. Okay. So I'm gonna go into half position based on that move. Don't fade off. You were doing great. I'm just going to get out for anything here. Yeah, there we go. Kind of felt lucky there, honestly. I just don't have confidence in to break it, but it did. Look at that triple tweezer there, huh? That's right above the. Right, was right in my. That's my exact position that I had. No wonder I felt panicked. So this is interesting. It's too soon to pick a consolidation level, but wow, huh? 4 bodies stopped the exact same spot. A lot of people don't want it to go by that level. Well, its action here is going to pull it up. So it broke it. This time it really broke it. So we're up to 24. I think I would tend to short. I'm going to play this a little. Well, it's a little soon to try that, actually. We're only 7 minutes in. I was thinking about, trying the short, long, but we don't really have a channel yet. It started to make one here, but then it just broke it. So I don't have confidence that it's going to fade off either the $0.50 or the fib level. Again, remember, these fib levels are suspect themselves because of how much the stocks moved. We don't have good consolidating action on this. It's really doing some big swings outside of its ATR levels. There's our ATR high on the RV strategy. Yeah, the other actual high is way up here. So buy a dip and wait for a retracement, or get into a short at this fib level. And the 50 cents. It's hitting the fib twice, broke it. Man, it's still going up. I'm not going to short that. You just got to wait a minute, guys, and just see if we can get any kind of... It's just a little bit more action than I thought we might get. Once again, had I not taken the first trade, I'd be in a much better starting position. Then there's other days where it's like, $300, you made your goal. As far as excitement, it's kind of the only real excitement in this style of trading is to try something. You just don't know as much what's going to happen. It's just like, it's the gamble feel to trade those opening candles. Or you do like bring in 1,000 shares and go like, okay, I'm excited now for this strategy. Became very excited if I have 1,000 or 2,000 shares. Yeah, so it did basically drop off the 50 cent and the fib up here. I mean, but it's not, that's a reversal sign, but it's really early to give it any real credence. 15 minutes just straight up, 5 minutes straight up looking. So the buyers dropped a lot on the Scalp Pro meter. You have a 38 cents target up and 24 down, so it's still saying very long biased here. You just take all these into account. Look at the overall time increment alignments. Just everything's green. The SPY's green. QQQ's green. How did everybody do from the open? Tesla went up. AMD's flat. Hood went up. Palantir went down. Apple went down. So, and this is actually down from the... No, NVIDIA's up from the open. I'm sorry. I'm looking at Palantir. Yeah, so NVIDIA's up $1.50. NVIDIA. Wow. I'm just very tempted to get it. I'm going to go ahead and get in on a long there, thinking that it's trying to fight its way back. I like to get a double digit. Got some money there. Slowly but surely. Here's back where I was pressing buy again. The more that it pounds down there, the better price I would want. So the even dollar I'm looking at now, I got it at 93. It took to fill 100 shares. Yeah, let's. Is this the beginning of its retracement? I should take a smaller little gain here. There, that's some money. MACD's sending it down, so let's keep a close eye on this. Or is it just going to go straight up here and go back up? Again, we're really early to try to pick patterns or consolidation on channels. So I'm doing real short-term based, mostly on level 2 and what's on my indicator. This is indicator trading I'm doing right now, more than level trading. The even dollar didn't hurt to have that right there, you know. But it's not exactly soaring up. So I'd like to go up, then go back down, and then we can really feel like we're starting to get something as we cross this, because we just crossed the 11th minute. So we're kind of in the area where I'd start. This target oscillator is more correct now. It's still got the skew from the open messing it up. But so this is a reversal sign here that it's going to turn around on the 1 minute, but it keeps pounding right at the even dollar. I'm going to give it a chance to break it in case it wants to. Yeah, 5 minutes big and red over there. So now you've got a fib level here. No new news. Just the same non-news where everybody's got their breath held. Went all the way down like to 79 cents here, 76 cents. So I really don't want to jump in it now to go long. This is telling me, though, it's about to go up. See this coming in? So if we see this magnet pull up, yeah, it's dry. It kind of stalled. I'm getting ready to buy the bid here, guys. I'm liking the signs of the potential reversal. There's 3 levels. I'm going to try to get in there. I didn't get it. I tried to get it at 86. It's still sitting here. I was waiting for it to pick it up. I missed. It looks like I missed the move. All right, I'm going to cancel that and wait to see if I can get a better dip. See the magnet pulled up. There it goes. I just missed that by a hair. Boy, that would have been a 30-cent move in a split second. I missed it. Saw it coming. You saw me call it, and I just couldn't get in it. I should have gone market maybe, especially since the spread's so tight here. That was a strictly market magnet and level 2 call there. Target's still higher on the shorts, which is interesting. That did a flip right in the middle of I don't want to take a trade area. But this looks like one maybe to scalp. Let's see if it keeps its consistent channeling here. Okay, so is it going to stair step down, or is it going to try to get back up there again? I don't see the same data to jump in right here on the long. Had a great move there, almost 40 to 50 cents a second ago. Momentum, that's the momentum indicator saying it's going down. So it broke the 9, the 14. There's the VWAP. Yeah, it's definitely worth waiting a second here. So now, as we get to the half dollar, yeah, I'm gonna take a chance there for not just a straight fall off here, but let's see. You got to push the envelope. You know, you gotta risk a little to make the money. Just the open. No new news hit. I took away my profit, so definitely not opposed to adding to this position if it starts to show signs of recovering. And there they are right there. I kind of missed the spot where I want to maybe add. Watching twice. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I added. And I might just get out of market because I want to make sure I get out. Definitely looked like it was going to go up there on the swale. That's why I did that. But it's now stalling a bit. It's 5 cents off my position. Let's hope that fib stops this from wanting to hurt me, or even the even dollar here. Oh, come on, Apple. NVIDIA, let's not do this. Let's not fade today. People want you to go up. And half my position size, and it's getting worse here. No, I thought about going full position size, but I'm just so close to my position that it's not worth it. All right, I got out sooner because I don't trust it. I really want to see it make a channel. I mean, unless this is a big channel. That was a pretty big drop from what it had been doing. So got a recovery out of it, but I relowered my share size back to my quarter position. Yep, so staying in it would have been better, the good old RV way. Shorting up into this area, I would look to short. And I would look to go long way down here. So we have some time to wait. 174, 175 maybe, go long. And then go short at 176.50 maybe, or maybe, I mean, if you go short, if it goes this high all the way to the ATR high. No, I'm sorry, that's the market magnet high. So we're at the magnet now, right, where it's supposed to be. We're almost split on the this just keeps going back and forth, but sellers just took over big time there. We're not seeing the volume increase per candle at all. It's actually slowly dropping. See, it went from 800 down to 500,000. So we're losing, there's a lot of people that jumped out or are just standing by like I am, waiting for something. We're in the middle of nothing here. We're on a 50-cent mark. I wouldn't want to take a trade here, so I will not. This is what you do. You just slowly climb. Stick to your max loss. Try not to get it so you can't make, $1 or $2 swings, that you're okay making that kind of a swing without hitting your max loss. That means lower your share size if you can't do that kind of a swing. It's right now letting us know what kind of a swing to expect, and it's about $2 between the two fibs if you look at them. So you should adjust your share size accordingly so you can traverse the whole move. And most likely it will retrace and you won't get hit, Even at the opening is where that fib is, so that you could call that the opening level too. So that's a pretty strong level to hold if we went long off that. Anywhere at 175, 174.50, 74.75. That would be a great long position to take. Then up here, our high is right up here. It's like that's smoothing it is about right there. So anywhere in there would be a good channel trading to go short. But here, you might be catching these. I don't know if you're trying it. But they're just not giving us the definitive thing. So we have that is a bull flag being created here. So let's see. It's not much of a flag, but if this passes it, does another one, then I won't get in it still. I'll wait for it to get here to go short. I want to go short off of this. I'm looking for a retracement off of this. Well, there you go. We got some positive news. That came out at 9:50. That was 1 minute ago. So we can expect that this should go up if we buy a dip here. I think I will. I'm going to try to just get in there just below the... Now, sometimes this news takes a bit. And you have to be ready to do this, what I'm doing, watching it move. It won't necessarily do it. So I said I wasn't going to get in here for this kind of a reason, but I saw that news come in and I thought, well, it'll take a minute, but people should see it. I thought it might just take off, so I wanted to get in the play. That's my old swing trading strategy. But it seems like people are starting to read the news now, so we want to break the fib, and then we want to go up here. I don't like that this price action is below the magnets. That's pulling it down. We want to see some price action coming up here. Target on the longs is taken over. Meter is all green. 90%, 93. And we're at the top of the volume candle. So signs are that we're going to get a decent trade here. This just pulled the magnet up, so let's let it go up a little higher. I still will take profit up in the double digits here just to, and then reassess. See, because of that. And then reassess, not get over greedy. Should have just probably taken it up there. It's being fickle to see this, so. It's 50, 55. I'm looking at my level 2, deciding if it's going to swale up, if I want to add as it goes up. Really, guys, the news should affect you a little bit more than what's happening. Just got to be patient here. Here's a bottom, right? So, yeah, 74.79. So here's where we kind of came in. So if we can make it down to there, we're okay. That's why I don't want to add yet. It's swaling up twice now. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take a chance there. It's a big chance, but I see the movement turning. I would have liked a little more confirmation, but I got down to a 78 cents, so here, so a much better price point if it pops up to this fib. There, we're almost to my position. People are reading the good news. It's going to soar upward. Get up here. Get up in here. There's some green for a split second. You know you want to go up, guys. You don't want to fade. Man, the level 2 says down. The indicators say up. What a day. It's just hard to read with this whole nonsense going on in Jackson Hole. Nope. Here's a gradual stepping down on the 5-minute. If you look at the bigger picture, it's like, why did you take that trade? Because of this news is why I took that trade. And we're in a basic center of the channel, so you know, that's $1 off my position down here, so I don't really want it to go down there now like it's doing. Just got to be patient. Stay on target. Unless you hit your max loss. I'm not opposed to going into full position here, so I won't swing it though. I'll just take a loss. It's unfortunately every one that it is less likely that it will turn around, anytime soon. So, and I'm stuck here without being able to take a trade. My best advice was don't trade today. If I go red this morning, I'll probably just post this red. I don't think I want to come back in and try to make it green and go through the pain and time. All those that you just want to see me show a red day, this could be it if it doesn't cooperate. Yeah, so we're getting close to this fib. Now we've gotten the buy-sell oscillator turning around, the risk oscillator's turning it around. The volume increased though as it's going down, which isn't good. The scalp pro meter is saying go up here. So there's a turnaround sign here, but is it really strong enough? The even dollar's right there. Oh boy, is it going to break that even dollar? It did. It did again. So it's going from bad to worse. So you might see me take a hit here. I don't think I want to follow it past the fib here, so past the open. So I'll just take the hit, and it'll be a losing trade. I really thought we had it here. There it goes. So that was 79. So okay, I'm gonna get out. So that's a bad trade. You saw it. You saw it here. Take a picture. And can I call this to go short? No. I just don't have enough to go on here. Hopefully most of you took the advice and just didn't trade. And then wherever there's a loser like me, there's a winner somewhere there. So that's two stocks that didn't do well for me. I thought about this too, being as low as it was, that it's just like I can't count on this to come back up today because it was all the way down here. So it's like I could be at its high area here. So, I just, there's our pre-market low right there, 73.77. Yeah, that's why I got out. I was remembering this, and I was just like, don't write it down. Don't write it down. Just don't make it into a swing. Just get out because that's short money still. So, but in what we're doing, that takes a while to recover without increasing the share size to like 800 or 1,000, which is a way I would get out of it for a couple, 2 or 3 trades. Yeah, I'm just glad I got out because it's just going from bad to worse. I don't really see anything here to trade that makes me feel better. I'm looking at all the stats across if you look at this list, it's just like, there was our close, there's our open, here we are now, down a hair, AMD getting like ridiculously low. They say there's some support down at the 157 level for that. Tesla. I haven't looked at Tesla yet. That might be, maybe we should take a look at Tesla to see if there's any kind of a shot there. That becomes my bailout stock a lot on this strategy. You can see I traded the crap out of it yesterday. Let me remove this clear drawing set. That's how I recovered yesterday with Charlie. And let's see here, 98. Yeah, nobody's actually trading the RV strategy today, which is a wise move. But everybody likes to trade something, so a bunch of Zoom people came on with me just to see, and it gets us more about like just keeping your losses low while you get the trading out of your system. Let's see if that's smooth. That's smoothed across there a lot. That's a potential level if it pops back up. I mean, it respected it. Isn't that weird how it hit this, spiked back up just from that? That's the reason, the main reason I marked it is because it did seem to respect that level. I wouldn't have normally marked that level. Let me look at the 10-day. We got nothing beyond these days, so there's no point. So again, this is strictly intraday historical, short-term historical data. Very, very short-term historical data to try to trade this. Now, the one thing that Tesla has going for is it really doesn't follow anything the market does, the news does. It's like its own little animal, because already Musk has destroyed the the logic of following anything. Boy, it's still right at its 50. Remember yesterday it was right at its 52. We're right at the 50 moving average. That's a daily moving average there. So it dropped below it into this fib, but then sprang back. There's that spike on the 5-minute down there that I carried over. That looks like that's legit, not a shadow wick. So interesting. Now, when you see the short-term movement, look at the overall movement. So it was as high as 324.51. And then now that I've got that all zoomed in, just want to see. So it's been as high as 341 just a couple of days ago. So if you go short, you could really be asking for it. All the way up to 348, like 5 days ago. So we're way down at its low for a while here. Something to keep in mind if you're going short here. So we'd want to maybe go short off of its higher levels, not off this fib, because this might have caught me to take a trade here and go short based on this very short-term action here. But we have a nice strong move up, although buyer's volume is going down, so you want to look at everything. Tesla stock slips. Yeah, that NVIDIA was a sign that those target prices from managers just often mean absolutely nothing. Or don't look at them as day traders, because they're like longer term moves to look at. Talk to a lot of traders. They go, "How do you make money day trading?" I just watch the news in the morning, social media, CNBC. I get a feel for the way the market's going. If there happens to be a particular stock mentioned why the market's going up or down, that's the one I'll trade, short or long, on a bailout, just based on what is the social sentiment. And you see, sometimes I put the social sentiment on the charts. You can do that, and they make a living doing that. I mean, they do well doing that. Just because of, that's trading with the crowd. Like, what are people thinking? I'm just going to, again, it's not always accurate, just like anything, but enough accurate where they feel confident and they do it day after day after day. I was talking to this one woman that I know that her father was an investor and that he sort of did that strategy, but he also did the fundamental analysis. She doesn't have, she's not a deep thinker. She doesn't have a lot of, financial background thinking, but she just does that strategy and now has a, multi-million-dollar house on a lake and, drives fancy cars and lives a fine life, basically just trading that way in the stock market. There's lots and lots of stories like that. I'm just looking here to see. Nobody's waiting for me at the RV, so I'll stay a little longer. I know Charlie went ahead and traded and got in the same position I did, and we're like a couple $100 down, I think. So it's not. See if I can maybe recover here, or just walk away with a smaller loss today and just let it ride. More like a psychological thing. But I told myself that, be prepared to lose if you trade today, and it's almost like I'm proving a point. So that's how I'm going to reconcile this with me, and I'm going to stick with that plan. It's more like you lose a day of making money more than take a tiny hit. You just like, well, I didn't make 5,000 today either, so cross that day off. I've got to make 10,000 on the next day or whatever. You got to make it up over $6,000 over, 5 days, or because you lose a day. Feel that way about holidays too. It's just like, oh. So it did turn around up here, right at the top of the market magnet. That level was at the 2350. You want to take your time with this stock. You want to be careful with this stock for sure. Again, this week, anything. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily go short off the next time it hits it either. See, so it's definitely made a bull flag. It's at the makings of a bull flag here. So if you look at that, there's the pull, there's the flag. Second green candle up would mean of a continuation, possibly the length of the entire pole, which is, $2 more up to the 20, up to here, this area, if it makes a second green candle. If it followed that pattern, which is 82% accurate. That's the candlestick pattern playbook, guys. You should, if you don't own it, you should get it. I know most of you watching right now own it. It's the only one that rates it's still the only one that rates the patterns after bringing in all those other traders, which are listed in the book, all this data, all these companies. And if you some would argue you can't rate them, but enough people got behind watching how many times the patterns were accurate and what to expect that there was enough to make data, and it's pretty darn accurate. So so we are making a bull flag. You have 35 seconds for this to close green, and we have an official bull flag here on a 1 minute, so it's not as strong as the 5 or 15 or 10. What happened here? There we are. Yeah, it's going to close green, so let's see what happens if it takes off. So the next candle breaks the high. That's where you'd want to jump in for a long, which is the high on that was 2349. I hesitate to chase it. Ugh. Could have caught it right there, huh? I'm going to go ahead and get in it. Tried to get out right away with like a $30 profit. Yeah, now it's like fading. So it was definitely chasing it, and I didn't. Again, once again, you want to go market, but then market kills you on the spread on a stock like Tesla. I've kept it in there in case it makes a quick swale. But I'm getting ready to cancel and just sell market 2 if it starts to play there. It's still trying to move up. No, it's going the other way. Boy, it's just not my day, huh? Well, I played the 82% accuracy here and it didn't work. Instead, I chased a high instead of going short off the higher levels based on a pattern. There was a victory there, very short-term victory, and I didn't grab it. It didn't pick me up on the ask. So it was actually accurate, but certainly not the length of the pole. It's just like anybody who wants to trade today, we're going to slap you down. Broke the even dollar now. Come on, baby. Put the prayer indicator up. I'm all the way up at 54. It can hit that in a split second. No, that's the thing. So this is another example of it. A pattern that says it should go up. This rickshaw man right here says it should continue to do the bull flag move. I guess off that fib would be where I'd get scared if it didn't hold here. Still a very tiny loss, but it could get to be a big loss quick. This is good news here, seeing this come in. This will pull the magnet up and people are going to jump on going long. So let's see. Could add to my position if it climbs quickly here. There goes the magnet. So let's see a snap up. 16, that was a 15-cent rise. Not enough for me to go in it yet. Actually, I think I'll just wait to take profit off of what I do have. So the magnet did pull it up. Will it be enough to get me out of this? That's a fantastic indicator if you don't have it. It's called the market magnet. It's at the $1 Million Margin Club has it. Oh, come on. Don't stall at that level again. Stalling at the 50 cent. It just doesn't want to break that level. I have it at 54. Could have got out maybe green if it didn't slip. But did I travel all this way to make a buck? There it goes. Come on. I'm not going to sell the ask because I just want to get out. If it springs up real quick, I'm just going to get out for a small profit. It's taking so long to do it. Even Tesla is taking forever to make a move. Still more is coming in here to pull this magnet up. Getting ready to add to my position again, guys. I'm watching the data swing in here. Oh, I could have got out if I had added down there. $0.06 spread. Stalling at the even dollar. It's got a fib down at the 71, 322.71. Don't want to add till it turns around, that's for sure. So the only way I can do that is by market. I'm going to try that. Big risk. Get ready to sell out quick. And I'm going to get out of here in just a second. Jeez, it needs to recover. I'm just going to get out. Wow. Come on, guys. That's half share size. Or no, that's full share size for Tesla, right? At 50 shares. So I'm in full share size. Did I start at 100 shares? I started a little high. We're supposed to be at 50 shares for this stock, right? So I'm at 23, so I'd like to wait for this to get up back to where it was and those levels it was turning around, which is in the 44 area. Nope, it's going to shake me out here a couple of times over 100, and I'm just going to get out. There was one time. And call it a bad day. It's just hovering below. It's right at the magnet, which is making me hold it just a hair longer. 71. There's the fib. The fib turned it around. Hit the fib again and again. Oh, I'm out. Wow. Okay, guys. That was not a good day for me. Hopefully you did better. And there it goes up. There it goes up. How many times, guys, do we see that happen? How many times? I held it just a little longer. I have no confidence in the market right now. That's why I'm not holding it like an RV. So we're going to call it a loss today, guys. I hope you did better than me. And still learning. You can learn. Big money. I would have been totally green for the day. Totally green for the day. Just a little longer off that, but I was just thinking it was going to fade off. Oh, wow. Couldn't call that right. So I'm like the crowd. We make bad decisions. Making a nice channel right there. But it's a risky stock to trade, so I'm gonna leave with my tail between my legs, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. But again, tomorrow is going to be the same thing. I just don't know if anybody should trade till after we get this news, and then maybe Monday, unless you want to hold a swing into the news or something. But that's really risky. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to post this red. I'm not going to try to recover here. So I don't know. I don't want to say that 100%, but right now I'm not feeling it. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Be safe out there. Hopefully you didn't go too red today. All right. Go green.